back again for another stream. How we all doing, guys? How we all doing? So, looking like Manchester United just about survive, their place in the Premiership. Obviously, Ipswich getting beat 2-0 by Newcastle. And that all but confirms Ipswich going down. And again, the three teams that were promoted, Southampton, Leicester, Ipswich, all going down, which just shows you, that the teams coming from the Championship are no match for any of the teams in the Premier League, really, And I think the gap's getting bigger and bigger in comparison to the Premier League teams and the Championship teams. So, yeah, obviously, as I said, Man United just about survive and keep their place in the Premier League, which again is mad to be saying that. But guys, big up yourself anyway. If you get a chance, guys, as I said, make sure you check out my content that was streamed today. Well, streamed yesterday, come out today for the Eubank and Conor Ben fight tonight. Give that a check. Who you think my prediction is on whoever's going to win, and let me know your thoughts and that. So Manchester United obviously playing Bournemouth tomorrow. I think if Bournemouth win, they go up to 8th place, and still trying to chase a place in Europe. And then for Man United, I think at the moment West Ham are actually drawing 1-1 with Brighton. So if West Ham can try and nick a late win, that puts United down to 16th with West Ham going a point ahead. And then obviously Tottenham playing Liverpool tomorrow. If they was to get a draw or get a win, again, that pushes United further down if they're not to beat, if they don't beat Bournemouth. So what I would say, tomorrow is going to be a very interesting lineup. Obviously Europa League game, obviously one of the most important games of the season for United, coming up on Thursday. And it's going to be interesting to see what team Ruben Amorim actually picks, because you would think that he's going to go with not his starting lineup that he's going to play against Athletic Bilbao in case of any injuries. And then what I would say, big up DM. DM says, "Are you Aljamain Sterling?" No, I'm not. I'm not Aljamain Sterling, man. But I can see why you would say that. But yeah, big up yourself for coming on, man. Big up yourself. Not a bad comment, I would say. Big up Fortnite with the boys as well, guys. Again, if you do like my content, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm only about 30 away from reaching 1K. So as I said, if you do like the content, make sure you smash the like button. Obviously, it helps the channel to reach more people. And again, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Big up to Giraffely_23. Yeah, big up, guys. So yeah, Man United versus Bournemouth tomorrow. As I said, for me, if we just discuss Bournemouth, as I said, Bournemouth can go up to 8th place tomorrow, which isn't much of a change from where they are now. I think they're in ninth position. And they can be very satisfied with their with their season as a whole, and I think in Andoni Iraola, I think they've got potentially one of the best managers in the league, if he's not even that already. And I would say that tomorrow at home, I know their home form hasn't been that good, but I would say that, I think they're probably the favourites going into tomorrow's game for sure. And big up to Roblox. Light free, listen, if you don't want to smash the like button, you're not forced to be here, so as I said, I ain't got to earn nothing, and it's free content. And if you do like my channel and you do like my content, then smash the like button. If not, you're not forced to be here, Big up to Leo Kearns. Big up to Fortnite with the boys. Yeah, light free, as I said, man, if you're not forced to be here, man, so see yourself out of here, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, no worries, Roblox, big up, man, big up for coming on. But what I would say, how do I think Bournemouth will line up tomorrow? I think Bournemouth's lineup, to be honest with you, is very much the same as to what we've been seeing, Obviously, Kepa on loan from Chelsea will start in goal. And in the back four, which, I think you got Lewis Cook, who is their captain. He's actually a central midfield player, but has been playing right back. So I think, I'm not sure if he's injured at the moment. Could be him or Adam Smith, who's the club captain. But I expect to see Lewis Cook probably at right back, left back. The much in demand Milos Kerkez, and again it'll be interesting to see if Kerkez is going to be there next season because he's been obviously chased by Liverpool. And I think there was interest from another team that I see the other day. But I think he's someone that's going to be in high demand in the summer for sure. But he'll definitely play at left back. And again, you've got the centre-back pairing of Dean Howson, again, who's been chased by a whole host of clubs. You've got in the Premier League, Chelsea. I think Arsenal was rumoured to be interested as well. Liverpool, and I think there might be another, I think is it Man City or another team that's interested in him. And obviously abroad, Bayern Munich are looking at him and also Real Madrid. So a much in demand centre-back at the moment. I think he's only, 19, I think he's 19 or 20. But he'll be alongside, I think, Ilya Zabani, Ukrainian international. Or it could be Senezi. But I think Zabani might play. And to be fair, that defence there has been decent to be honest with you. They've got attacking threats at fullback, in Kerkez. And then you've got the youth and the athleticism of Dean Howson, And then I think going into midfield, Ryan Christie, formerly of Celtic, very, very, very cultured player on the ball. And again, Ryan Christie used to play on the wing or play as a number 10. But obviously, under Iraola, has transitioned into a central midfield player. Obviously, left-footed as well. Yeah, big up Leo Kearns, man. Big up for subscribing. And then alongside Ryan Christie, I think you have Tyler Adams, American international. And then in the 10, I think, again, another player that I would say is going to be sought after, and that is Justin Kluivert. I think Justin Kluivert, to be honest with you, this season has earned himself, a good move. And I would say that, it'd be very interesting to see what teams actually come in for Justin Kluivert because, I could see him playing for, a top 4 team, top 6 team. Whether the necessity is to get him in, I don't know. But adding someone of his quality to their lineup, I think would be good business. So he'll play in the 10. And then going forwards, obviously, person I've got in the thumbnail, Antoine Semenyo. I think this could be Semenyo's chance. Big up, Leo. I think this could be Semenyo's chance to showcase his ability. Obviously, there has been interest from Man United. There has been interest from Liverpool as well. And I think if he can, if he plays well tomorrow, I think that interest gets stronger and stronger. Big up to Maisie. Yeah, big up for coming on. So for me, obviously links to Man United. I think the fact that Man United are heavily, linked to Matthias Cunha and looks like that might be getting over the line. I think that the Anton Semenyo interest might die a bit for me, if I'm honest, But I think it's an opportunity for Semenyo because I think, Liverpool probably looking at reinforcements in the top part of the pitch. And I think that he's someone, that he would suit into their system in terms of the high press, the energy that he has. And again, the strength that he has as well. And he is a goal threat. So I can see Liverpool going for him in the summer. As much as Man United, but whether Man United, are going to turn their attentions elsewhere because the Cunha deal looks like it's gathering pace. I think he might not be of interest anymore, but I think for sure he's primed to have a good game tomorrow. And then you've got Evan Nilsson. For me, Evan Nilsson's very underrated striker. Brazilian striker. Obviously come back from a bit of a long injury that he had for the season, but he's actually a threat and will be a threat tomorrow. And I think United are going to need to keep an eye on him, because I think if United are caught lacking, I think he's someone that could cause problems. And on the other side, I think they probably play either Marcus Tavernier or what's his name? Forgot his name. The guy that played as a striker when Evan Nilsson was injured. But I think Tavernier might start tomorrow. And to be fair, that as a team, Semenyo, Tavernier, and Evan Nilsson as a front three. Justin Kluivert, Tyler Adams, and Ryan Christie in midfield. That's a solid team there. And again, that's a team that, earlier on in the season, obviously they were doing very well. I think they've kind of dropped off a bit. And I think really, if we're being honest, I think the form that they've showed throughout the whole season, you'd have to put them favourites, sorry guys, just looking at the football news. West Ham winning 2-1 at the moment. So if West Ham hold on to this win, United move down to 16th position, so they're only just above Tottenham, and now Tottenham are in 17th. So, panic stations, I would say, but the fact that, Newcastle 3-0 up against Ipswich now, so that's going to condemn Ipswich to the Championship. But to be honest with you, Man United, they're in 16th position now, which is unheard of, which is mad. But big up anyway. So Leo Kern says, what team do you support in the Premier League? So unfortunately, at the moment, I'm supporting Manchester United. Or I support Manchester United, should I say. And, massive game on Thursday. For me, it's a massive game tomorrow because it'd be interesting to see what team he picks. If he's going to go with a strong team or if he's going to go with a weakened team with the game on Thursday in mind. And again, this is going to be Man United's biggest game of the season on Thursday, which they have to somehow navigate their way through to winning this competition. Because I think if they don't win this competition, it's going to be panic stations all round. So, but tomorrow, United have to be taking this game seriously. And at least if they can get a positive result against Bournemouth, you're taking the confidence into the Europa League semi-final against Athletic Bilbao, which is going to be a tough game away from home. Obviously, team news for United. Obviously, Diogo Dalot is out and looks like he might be out for the season. Obviously, Amad Diallo's back in training. Kobe Mino obviously will be featuring more now as well. So, yeah, I think Matthias de Ligt, I think he's nearing a return. So, I think against Athletic Bilbao, I think de Ligt might even be in the squad. I think he might make the squad. Ahmad might be, they might be saving him for the second leg. But it's important United get a positive result in this first leg, taking it back to Old Trafford the following week. So yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, Leo, big up, man. I can see you can support Liverpool that with the badge, man. Yeah, I can see it. And to be honest with you, they're going to confirm that title tomorrow with I reckon that they at least get a draw at home. I think they win the game personally against Tottenham. And to be fair, it's been thoroughly deserved, man. I think they've been the only consistent team in the league so far, Liverpool. And, as I said before, I think the fact that they've actually secured the likes of captain Virgil van Dijk and, Mo Salah, I think that's massive for the club. And again, they can go and spend in the summer and get players in that could eventually replace them two, And obviously Trent's going to Real Madrid. But, you've got Conor Bradley there. And whether they go out and get another right back to compete with Bradley, I think they should be all right in that position there. But yeah, Liverpool thoroughly deserve the league this season. They've only been the one consistent team. And to be fair, they've won it quite comfortably in the end. And again, all they need tomorrow is a point, which I believe they'll get easily anyway, But how do I see Man United line up tomorrow? For me, it's gonna be interesting because I do believe United have to play, a strong team against Bournemouth, because I think if United was to play a weakened team, they get beat and then they don't get a positive result against Athletic Bilbao on Thursday, Amarim's going to be in trouble because, he's going to be 2 losses or it could be a draw, 2 draws or a draw and a loss. And yeah, it's going to be unacceptable. So how I would line up for Man United tomorrow, you know, I think Onana has to play tomorrow, you know, and I think he will play as well. So I'll go Onana in goal. The back three for me is going to be interesting because the fact that Dallow's out now, and obviously I know Dallow's been playing as a right wing back, but if I look at the other options that can play as a wing back in this team that the manager's going to play, you know, it's only been Mazraoui that's been playing. But I think Mazraoui has to be rested for this game so he's fit and ready for the Europa League game on Thursday. Because I think if Mazraoui plays tomorrow, you know, I fear that he could be tired, you know, because he's going to be going up against probably one of the quickest wingers in Europe in Nico Williams. And if Mazraoui's playing 90 minutes against Bournemouth as a wing back, and then he's going to go up against Nico Williams on Thursday, I think that could be too much for him. So I want to see Mazraoui rested. So the back three that I'll play tomorrow, I think you're going to have to go with Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and Lenny Yoro. I think you have to play that because, again, the Lit's not back, Aiden Heaven's not back. I think it'd be unfair to throw in the young Tyler Fredrickson into an away fixture, which is crucial. You know, Mazraoui, as I said, needs a rest. And, again, there's no other options. So, for me, I would play, Lindelof, Maguire, and Lenny Yoro. So, if I'm honest with you, I think he should play Lindelof. I think he should play Lindelof. Well, he's going to play Maguire in the middle, and then Lindelof probably might play on the right side, and then Lenny Yoro on the left. But I think Maguire's played left of a three before, especially for England. So I think he should play left of a three, and then put Lindelof in the middle, and then Lenny Yoro to the right. But I think he's going to do Maguire in the middle, if I'm honest. The wing backs will be interesting. So, look, guys, Brighton just equalised. So, United obviously stay in 15th at the moment. Because obviously West Ham now, obviously will be on, I believe, 37 points. Yeah, so I think the wing backs are going to be interesting because, again, Patrick Dorgu's going to play. It's whether he plays on the right or the left. And I believe he plays on the right. Obviously, because Dallow's not there. And I think young Harry Amas is going to play as a left wing back. Again, Amas played well last game, you know, against, who was it? Against Wolves. Obviously, Wolves beating United 1-0. But I think he deserves the right to stay in the team. Big up, Reluctant Gamer. Big up, bro. Newcastle beating Ipswich 3-0. And that's condemning Ipswich to the Championship. So, yeah, man. Obviously, I think we all knew that Newcastle were beating them at home, definitely. And again, this top five race now, because Chelsea won earlier today, 1-0. You know, City beat Aston Villa. Obviously, Newcastle winning 3-0. Who else is there? Villa have got, even though I think Villa might be a bit of the outsiders now, but Villa have got Crystal Palace at 5:30. So, yeah, this top five race is going to heat up, man. And, again, there's some crucial games coming up. And, guys, as I said, don't rule out Arsenal. If you think Arsenal are going to comfortably finish second, again, there's only 6 points in it. And Arsenal's next 3 league games, I believe, are Bournemouth, which is sandwiched in between Champions League, Liverpool, who could be on holiday after winning the league. And then I think it's Newcastle, who are going for the top 5. So, you know, if Arsenal don't pick up positive results there, you know, they could find themselves in trouble. So, you know what I mean? It's not a foregone conclusion. But, yeah, Chelsea are grinding it out, man. They are. But, yeah, so, as I said, yeah, that Patrick Dorgu right wing back. Oh, look at that. Brighton 3-2 now. So, United definitely going to stay in 15th. Mad season. So, yeah, United definitely staying in 15th. You know, and obviously West Ham looking like they're gonna, be the best of the rest really at the moment. I know Tottenham are 1 place above them. Fulham 2-1 now as well. Look at that comeback. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Yeah, Harry Amas and Dorgu will be the wing backs. Again, you're just hoping that Dorgu doesn't get an injury, you would say, because if you was to lose Dorgu, I dread to think the wing backs against Athletic Bilbao, because you're possibly looking at Mazraoui and Harry Amas as the wing backs. I think Luke Shaw's actually fit, so Luke Shaw might feature. Guys, sorry, I have to stop you there. The person that just scored the goal for Brighton, 3-2, was none other than someone I spoke about yesterday, Carlos Baleba. And I've told you guys, this guy, Carlos Baleba, he needs to be snapped up. If you haven't seen my stream from yesterday, I think he's a star in the making, Carlos Baleba. Only 21 years of age. And for me, he needs to be snapped up by Man United. I think Man United need to make him their main midfield target, even above Ederson for me. And as I said, I think, I'll be very surprised if no team's coming for him, because for me, he's a top player in the making. I think he's the closest player I've seen probably to Eduardo Camavinga. Left-footed, central midfielder, box to box, very good defensively, is very composed on the ball. And I'm telling you now, teams need to go and snap him up. And I'm hoping Man United are in for him, because he's going to be a top player. Only 21 years of age, Cameroonian international. So Gamer says, you watching the Villa game? I might watch the first half, but I'm off out tonight. So I'm only going to watch probably the first half. Big up Leo. Leo says, I play for a football team. I'm captaining my team. Yeah, big up Leo, man. Whereabouts do you play, Leo? What, are you a central midfield player? What, are you a winger, striker, centre-back? Big up yourself, man. And what team do you play for? Yeah, so going back to the Man United team, I think the midfield is going to be key. I expect Casemiro to play tomorrow, because he didn't play against Wolves. If I'm honest with you, I'd give Casemiro 45 minutes and then take him off and rest him for the Europa League game. Because I think playing Casemiro 90 minutes against Bournemouth and then the same against Athletic Bilbao might be a bit of a problem. So I'd give him 45 minutes and then, change things up. But I think Casemiro starts tomorrow. And again, it's going to be interesting to see if he starts him with Ugarte. And I think he will. I think he starts Ugarte and Casemiro in midfield, and then plays Bruno left 10, Garnacho right 10, and then Rasmus as the striker. I think that's what he's going to do. If I'm Amorim, because the fact of the matter is, Cheeto can't play in the Europa League. So for me, he has to give Cheeto a game. He has to play Cheeto for me. I will start Cheeto tomorrow, and then if you do want to bring Rasmus on, because Rasmus is going to start against Athletic Bilbao, which again might be a problem. But I think personally, he needs to give Cheeto a game, because Cheeto can't play in Europa League. So, he's going to be 2 games without any minutes if he doesn't start him tomorrow, And for me, Kobbie Mainoo, I would play Kobbie Mainoo. I'd play Kobbie Mainoo as a left 10. I think tomorrow he probably needs, for me, he needs to go with Kobbie Mainoo and I would say Kobbie Mainoo and Mason Mount as the two 2-10s, left and right 10. And I'd play Cheeto. And then you got Rasmus, Garnacho on the bench. And then the midfield 2, I'd go with Casemiro and Bruno and have Ugarte on the bench. I think that's the way he needs to go, Can I see him doing that? I can't, because I think Garnacho starts. I think Højlund's going to start. And Bruno's going to start. It's just whether Bruno plays as a left 10, which we all know doesn't work. But I think he might do that. I think he might go Bruno left 10, Garnacho right 10, and Rasmus Højlund with Casemiro and Ugarte in midfield. And again, I think that team there, can I see them getting a result against Bournemouth? I think Bournemouth win. I think Bournemouth win the game, if I'm honest, because these players are going to have one eye on the Europa League game. And I think if he is likely to play this team, it could, for me, I will change things up. you know, because we've seen too many of these certain players not putting up any trees, and we all know he's going to play them against Athletic Bilbao, but I think it's a chance to give some game time to some other players that haven't been playing regularly, you know. So yeah, that's how. But I think personally he's going to go with Højlund, Garnacho, Bruno, Ugarte, Casemiro. I would go with personally Bruno, Casemiro, Kobe Mino as a left 10, Mason Mount as a right 10, and then give Cheeto a game and see how they get on. That's the way I think he should go with. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But as I said, I think tomorrow's game, you know, for me, it's a must-not-lose game for United. You know, I think if they was to lose again, bringing that into the Europa League game on Thursday, you know, is going to be a problem for the team, for me, you know, and he'll be under severe pressure because, again, I know I'm going to say it again, but they've survived relegation, Man United, this season because Ipswich have gone down. But so Man United could easily find themselves, you know, the best of the rest. I mean, the best of the worst, should I say, in 17th position, just above the three teams that got relegated. The worst of the rest, should I say, best of the rest. But yeah, as I said, I think, you know, Man United have still got tough games coming up. They've still got to play, as I say, Bournemouth tomorrow. Then they've got West Ham at home, and you'd think the way West Ham have been going on, you'd think they'll get a positive result against West Ham, but you never know. And then they got Chelsea, Brentford, Aston Villa. And I'm telling you now, I don't see United getting any wins against any three of them. You know, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. But guys, big up yourself for coming on. As I said, if you guys got any questions before I go, and again, if you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you do. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you know, make sure you do as well, guys. Obviously, I'm only a few short of reaching that 1K, which is proving a bit of a headache at the moment. But again, we keep going. We keep going. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to be back tomorrow, guys. I'm going to be straight back after the Man United and Bournemouth game to do my match reaction. So, yeah, make sure you got your notifications on. And make sure you're in my chat so we can discuss the fallout of the game. And as I said, Man United for me, you know, it's a must-not-lose game going into Thursday's game, which is obviously going to be the massive game United have left. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Wrestling Gamer says, I think you'll show something against Chelsea. I don't think so. I think Chelsea Man United got Chelsea away from home, and a lot of it is going to depend on if Man United are out of the Europa League or not. Because I think what the problem is going to be, Gamer, is that if Man United get knocked out of the Europa League, you know, and the fact that Ipswich now have been relegated, United might be on holiday because it's a case where they won't get relegated. There's nothing to play for in terms of Europa League, so they might just be playing through the motions, you know. And whereas Chelsea are still trying to go for the top 5. So I think personally this Chelsea game comes down to what United do in Europa League, because I think the Europa League, if they're still alive in Europa League, then, you know, he might change his team to not risk injury. But I think also if they're knocked out of the Europa League, confidence might be low. You know, they might not be bothered to the end of the season now because there's nothing to play for. So they might just be, as I said, going through the motions. So we'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a roller coaster finish. And all eyes are on Ruben Amorim, you know. So yeah, but yeah, as I said, Antoine Semenyo tomorrow, you know, be a chance for him to showcase what he's got. And I think he will have a good game tomorrow, you know. And again, I think it's going to add to his stock. And we'll have to wait and see if Man United will still be interested in him, you know. But I think it's a bit unlikely now. But who knows? But yes, guys, big up for coming on. As I said, each and every time, big up Reluctant Gamer. Big up to Leo Kearns. Big up for your questions in the chat. And yes, guys, as I said, I'll be back tomorrow after the Man United game. So, as I said, make sure you guys got your notification on. I will schedule it at some point tomorrow. But as I said, yeah, make sure you join the conversation. And again, big fight tonight. Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben. You know, again, tomorrow we'll be talking about that and talking about the key talking points. And as I said, if you haven't watched my video already, make sure you go and watch it. If you have, obviously, my opinion, I think Eubank Jr., I think he stops him in round 8 or 9, I would say. So, yeah, but it's going to be a great fight. And as I said, make sure you join me tomorrow for that reaction and for the Man United and Bournemouth reaction. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.